You know what? I did not do it purposely, like I said earlier, but I got my green shirt. I got my orange glass. Apparently, I'm on brand. I'm fitting, and I did not do that on purpose. So, cheers. But, that being said, we are going to listen to The Life of a Showgirl, the brand new album that was dropped by Taylor Swift, containing 12 songs. Like I said earlier, I've been trying to dodge all the spoilers online, which is pretty much mission impossible, but I think I did it. I haven't heard any snippet of a song that's long enough for me to recognize it later, and I don't remember it, at least. So it's going to be very interesting. A lot of interesting titles. Like said earlier, the Fate of Ophelia, Opalite, and Cancelled are superior, so we're going to see. But I've seen a lot of mixed reviews online, although it is Max Martin. But sometimes a little bit too much of Max Martin can be too consistent. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm curious. But most of the criticism you've heard was it is like people saying it's not it doesn't sound like folklore, which I get it, because folklore from a writing perspective was amazing, but from a sonic perspective, unless you're really really in that mood, it was great production wise and writing wise, and like it was an aesthetic, it was a mood, it was a time, it was very fitting, especially at the beginning of COVID, or sometime in the first year and a half of COVID, I think. But that being said, like it's not pop. It wasn't pop music. It was indie music. Well, here's the thing: pop music is not a thing. Pop music is popular. It's whatever's trendy in a moment. So it's not a sound. It's a movement. So what she released was like a singer-songwriter style, and this is definitely heading back to pop music, like more of a synth-based and up-tempo type of music. So yeah. Floyd's new album is Halloween. It's a Halloween release. Okay, got it. It's Max and Shellback, so I think it's fine. Yeah, true. It is both. Okay, enough talking. Let's get to playing the album, The Life of a Showgirl. Okay. You light the match to watch it blow. And if you never call for me, I might have drowned in the melancholy. I swore my loyalty to me, myself, and I, right before you lit my sky. Okay. Ooh. Ooh, okay, that's really different writing for Taylor, I feel. The eldest daughter of a nobleman, Ophelia lived in fantasy. It reminds me of Pumped Up Kicks by I forgot the name of the band. Full of scorpions, the venom stole her sanity. And if you'd never called for me, I might have lingered in purgatory. You wrap around me like a chain, a crown, a fire. Not the claps. Okay. That call and responses, I feel like very new for Taylor. Okay. And also that upbeat piano, I feel is relatively new as well. I
possess the key, no longer drowning and deceived. Oh, because you came for me. All that time I sat alone in my tower, you were just honing your powers. Now I can see it all. I can see it all. Late one night, you dug me out of my grave and saved my heart from the fate of Ophelia. Keep it 100 on the land, lay the sea, the sky.
Okay. Okay, okay,
You saved
okay.
my heart from the fate of Ophelia.
Oh, a very interesting opening to the album. Hey, Anon, welcome to the stream. How are you doing? Yeah. Okay, hold on. Many thoughts. So, it's like I said, it's a. I forgot the name of the band, but the band that sings Pumped Up Kicks. Oh, Jesus Christ, my memory is failing me right now. But, and I can't. I wouldn't be able to sing it because. Hold on, let me actually pull it up. In that case, Pumped Up Kicks. Foster to the People. That's who they're. Like. Let me. Kind of similar rhythm, and driven by the drums. Like if I play it again, oops, hold on. Like it very like dragged by the drum, if that makes any form of sense. But yeah, that's the first thing that I noticed. I was like, oh, it reminds me of that song. It's almost like an indie pop type of approach. And then the call and response in the writing that I mentioned earlier, like when she says like keep it 100 on the land, or not the land twice, but the land, the sea, and that is, I feel like, relatively new in her writing. Because I haven't seen that type of call and response or heard in recent songs, I think. Well, actually, while. Anyway, and I like the topic. I like the reference. And it's giving a little bit of the Rapunzel, come and save me type of vibe. Yeah. Okay. I wonder if that's the sound that we're going to stick to, or we're going to really diversify as we get into the album. Because that's only the first track. All right, let's move on to the next one. Elizabeth Taylor.
Elizabeth Taylor, do you think it's forever? That view of Portofino was on my mind when you called me at the Plaza Athénée. Ooh, oftentimes it doesn't feel so glamorous to be me. All the right guys promised they'd stay under bright lights. They withered away, but you Portofino was on my mind.
Oh, whoa, damn, okay. Wow.
Do you think it's forever? Number one, but I never had to. And I can't have fun if I can't have be my and wild when Hollywood hates me. Only as
Oh, wow.
hit, baby. Been number one, but I never had to. And I can't have fun if I can't have you. Hey,
Okay, very much describing her
possibly get for the girl who has
current
everything and
relationship.
nothing all at once. Babe, I would trade the Cartier for someone to trust. We hit the best
I like the mix of the synths.
Elizabeth Taylor, tell me for real, do you think it's forever? Been number one, but I never had to. And I can't have fun if I can't have be my and why. When Hollywood hates me, only as hot as your last hit, baby. Been number one, but I never had to.
You know what? That's a sound that I really, really, really like for Taylor at this point in her career.
Elizabeth Taylor, do you think it's forever?
It's a little bit darker. It's not sad. It's just a little bit more haunted.
Diamonds and lovers are forever in the papers, on the screen, and in their minds. All my white diamonds and lovers are forever. Don't you ever end up anything but mine. I cry my eyes violet. Elizabeth Taylor, tell me for real, do you think it's forever? Been number one, but I never had to. 'Cause I can't have fun if I can't have be my and why. When Hollywood hates me, only as hot as your last hit, baby. Been number one, but I never had to. And I can't have fun if I can't have diamonds and Elizabeth Taylor forever. In the papers, on the screen, and in their minds. All my white diamonds and lovers are forever. Don't you ever end up anything but mine. Oh.
You know, there's a lot of it, and I mean, it's gonna make a lot of sense with, you know, the title of the album and the project. It reminded me of a citation, and I don't remember where I heard it, but it's something about like, doesn't it feel lonely sitting at the top? And I don't know if that's actually Taylor who might have said that before. I'm just saying it out loud now, and I'm like, wait a minute. But it's crazy how like that fame and success has such an isolating effect on people, and it makes people build their guards up and create such a bubble around them. Yeah, it might be a karma lyric. It could be. And kind of, yeah. Potentially. I would have to look it up. But I like the track. I love the album, but my first thought at the end was, she's been hanging out too much with Sabrina. Make it that way you will. Oh, interesting. I mean, okay, hold on. I'll get back to that. I haven't listened to all the tracks, but not gonna lie, I see it. I mean, they even collab, so yeah. Well, here's the thing. I think that Sabrina pulled from Taylor, not the other way around. But Taylor is going back to more of the mainstream pop avenue, stepping away from the more intense and poetic, like the deep, deep, deep poetic stuff that, you know, there's that thing in music and pop music, especially, that if you make it too specific, you're not relatable enough. Which is fine, because you get to a level sometimes when you're a career, you can afford that. It's like you're so specific that people love, like, everybody in the Taylor Swift fandom loves decoding the lyrics, and that's fantastic. That's a great activity, and it's a great way to bond. But also at the same time, it's like, it's so specific that people can't say, I have lived the same thing, or I've done the same thing, or I've reacted or felt the same way. And so I think she, in this project, might have taken a step back for lyrics that are a little more accessible in the project, which is completely fine. It doesn't mean that it's not good, or it's less it's not because it's less poetic that it's a bad thing. But clearly the lyrics are a little more straightforward. They're, you know, very much, they reference things that are a little more public as well, like Elizabeth Taylor or the Fate of Ophelia, which are known things. Yeah, and then sonically, it's so far interesting. It's not where I thought the album would go. I had a feeling that it's a little more glimmery, because of the fact that, or I thought it would be a little more glimmer. I mean, to be fair, it's only track 2, so I might be wrong, and we'll see that in a couple of tracks. But I was wanting to go more, glittery to go with the aesthetic of the album. So we'll see if that heads in that direction. Next one, Opalite.
I had a bad habit of missing lovers past.
Okay.
My brother used to call it eating out of the trash.
Whoa.
My house was haunted. I used to live with ghosts and all the perfect couples.
It really is screaming indie pop.
And when you don't, you don't.
Huh.
All of the foes and all of the friends have seen it before, they'll see it again. Life is a song, it ends when it ends. I was wrong. But my mama told me it's alright. You were dancing through the lightning strikes, sleepless in the onyx night. But
Okay.
now the sky is opalite. Oh my Lord, never made no one like you before.
Has a little bit of a retro 60s vibe. A little bit?
The sky is opalite.
Or 70s?
You couldn't understand it, why you felt alone. You were in it for real. She was in her phone, and you were just a pose. And don't we
Whoa.
try to love? We give it all we got.
Mm-hmm.
We finally left the table. And what a simple thought. You're starving till you're not.
Ooh, interesting, okay.
Messed up before, they'll mess up again. Life is a song, it ends when it ends. You move on. And that's when I told you it's alright. You were dancing through the lightning strikes, sleepless in the onyx night.
I also like the melody stacking for this track. Yeah.
Oh my Lord, never met no one like you before.
I mean, harmony, not melody stacking, but like the vocal stacking.
Sunshine, and now the sky is opalite. This is just a storm inside a teacup. It's shelter here with me, my love. Thunder like a drum. This life will beat you up.
Oh, wow.
This is just a temporary speed bump, but failure brings you freedom, and I can bring you love.
Yeah, the 60s type of Beatles type of approach.
Don't you sweat it, baby, it's alright. You were dancing through the lightning strikes. Oh, so sleepless in a
Even the
night. But now the sky is opalite.
melody, the way it's built, like that sounds like a 60s like the Beatles song. Or I'm saying Beatles, but that era. Interesting. Okay, hold on. I just saw by the way, opalite means man-made opal, and her partner's birthstone is an opal. Ah. Very interesting. Well, here's the thing. Wait, what color is opalite? It's yeah, I was about to say it's white. It's kind of white mixed with blue. I was about to say there's a bit of green in it as well, depending on the stone that you have, which could explain the inspiration for the. No, actually, that would be wrong. I was about to say like it could explain the cover, but no, not at all. I'll take that back. But essentially, what I did want to say is that this reminds me of the Lover album in the sense where it is very much a song that I see her playing guitar to, like not in the stripped back moments of like acoustic version of a song, but in and of itself, the song as it is, she's able to stand in front of a mic with a stand and a guitar and just play almost like the 60s bands, you know. It's kind of going back to basics of almost like making music in your basement, but in a non-electronic way. Kind of that indie pop vibe of it. And you know what? I really like the lyrics. Um, I like the kind of a before and after, right? Before you were dancing through the lightning strikes, but now the sky's opalite. Like now it's better. Now it's clear. And now it's since you've come into my life, everything makes a lot more sense. Like a perfect sky. Yeah, it reminds me slightly of Starlight. Ooh, yes, I remember Starlight from Red. That was a good track. Good track. All right, very nice. Let's continue. Father figure. I was eager to hear this one. Ooh.
When I found you, you were young, we were lost in the cold. Pulled up to you in the jack, turned your rags into gold.
Whoa.
The winding road leads to the chateau. You remind me of a younger me. I saw potential. I'll be your father figure. I drink that brown liquor. I can make deals with the devil because my dick's bigger. This love is
Oh shit.
profit. Just step into my office. I dry your tears with my sleeve. Leave it with me. I protect the family. Leave it with me. I protect the
Okay.
family. I pay the check before it kisses the mahogany grain. Said they wanna see you rise, they don't want you to reign. I showed you all the tricks of the trade. All I ask for is your loyalty, my dear protege. I'll be your
There's a part of me that wants to say it's about Sabrina
that brown liquor.
for some reason.
Can make deals with the devil because my dick's bigger. This love is pure profit. Just step into my office.
Or to be fair, any artist that opened up for Taylor on the tour, that she'll be the father figure for them, you know? Try to protect them from the industry.
I saw a change in you, my dear boy. They don't make loyalty like they used to. Your thoughtless ambition sparked the ignition on foolish decisions, which led to misguided visions, led to fulfill your dreams.
Okay.
You had to get rid of me.
Okay, definitely not about. I mean, maybe she created the story from it. On the Whisper. She might have created the narrative too for the song, but
You made a deal with this devil, turns out my dick's bigger. You wanna fight, you found it. I got the place surrounded. You'll be sleeping with the fishes before you know you're drowning. Whose portraits on
Ooh.
the mantle? Who covered up your scandals? Mistake my kindness for weakness.
okay.
Find your car canceled. I was your father figure. You pulled the wrong trigger. This empire belongs to me. Leave it with me.
You know what? This would have been the perfect song for
I protect
Dynasty,
family.
the show.
Leave it with me. You know, you remind me of a younger me. I saw potential.
Interesting. Okay. Huh. I don't know if that was written out of an idea that she had or if that's really the way that she kind of felt about protecting other people. And I don't know. I mean, I like the vision of it. We're still very much in a storytelling mode, and that's one of the things that I appreciate about Taylor. It's like everything she writes, it just paints a picture, and it's so cool, and it's nice to envision it. And that's kind of the beauty that she takes from the country music that she was taking part of at the very beginning. It's a very storytelling genre, and she brought that over the pop, and she hasn't lost it, which makes it amazing. Um, but yeah, I, I'd be curious to see what inspired her to do this or to write about this. Um, my interpretation initially is that it's about Scott Borchetta and how he saw himself and then what he actually became. Oh, that's not crazy. Not gonna lie, the only Taylor album I listened to from beginning to start, you probably met End. The one with the lavender haze. Now that's a crime. That's a crime unknown. I mean, to be fair, that time that I started Midnights, I fell asleep to it because it was just way too late. I was listening to it and I was lying on my bed and I just like I was too tired to listen to an album. And it was just a perfect album to fall asleep to. Not because it's bad or boring. It's really just because it's slow and it's a little more moody and I don't know, it's just the right tempo and I just like knocked out cold. So I had to listen to it again the next day. But yeah, no, Scott Borchetta, that would make a lot of sense. That's crazy though. That's crazy. Yeah, I know. Midnight listening at midnight. Okay, Eldest Daughter. So we're sticking in the family theme at the moment. Hold on. I feel like this one's gonna. Is that the track? Yeah, track number 5, obviously.
So
Yeah.
on the internet, everyone's unbothered till they're not. Every joke's just trolling and memes. Sad as it seems, apathy is hot. Everybody's cutthroat in the comments. Every single hot take is cold as ice. When you found me, I said I was busy. That was a lie. I have been afflicted by a terminal uniqueness. I've been dying just from trying to seem cool. But I'm not a bad bitch, and this isn't
Wow.
savage.
It's a crazy way to put that in that word.
I'm never gonna leave you out. So many traitors, smooth operators, but I'm never gonna break that vow. I'm never gonna leave you now.
I just had a flash of Five Finger sampled George Michael, and I didn't talk about it. I didn't see it because I probably didn't know the song. I just had a flash.
The last time I laughed this hard was on the trampoline in somebody's backyard. I must have been about 8 or 9. That was the night I fell off and broke my arm. Pretty soon I learned cautious discretion. When your first crush crushes something kind. When I said I don't believe in marriage, that was a lie. Every eldest daughter was the first lamb to the slaughter. So
it's a story of like building walls as you go through life and protecting your heart and lying to be able to protect yourself.
And this isn't savage, but I'm never gonna let you down. I'm never gonna leave you out. So many traitors, smooth operators, but I'm never gonna break that vow. I'm never gonna leave you now. We'll child felt they were raised up in the wild, but now you're home. 'Cause I'm not a bad bitch, and this isn't savage.
This reminds me of her earlier work in the country albums leading up to Red.
So many traitors, smooth operators, but I'm never gonna break that vow. I'm never gonna leave you now. Never gonna leave you now.
It is definitely the deepest song so far, I feel, in the sense where this is really kind of talking about growing up and protecting yourself, and then just realizing how much you have protected yourself over time. And when you finally open up to someone and you're like, you know what, I promise I won't ever do that again. Like I'm not going to close myself off the way that I've done it in the past. And it's almost like a mix of coming of age slash just adulting. Yeah, that's about it. Hold on, let me check the chat. I'm just gonna block that. Okay. I started at Fearless and went chronologically because debut is rough and to get into things first. But Red is probably the best starting point if you want to get hooked on quintessential Taylor writing. That's fair. Maybe sometimes just binging on two. Hold on, I think I missed a conversation. Whoa. From I protect the family to deal with the devil. I know it's just that this discography intimidates me. There's so much. Okay, y'all are talking in between yourselves. I'll let you have your conversation. I'm pretty much on updated when it comes to Taylor's discography. I've done pretty much everything. Anyway, but that was a beautiful track, and like I said earlier, it did remind me of the earlier work that Taylor did in her career. Very stripped down, very guitar based. Once again, this album so far feels very much like if it were to be translated into a show, it's not a choreography, big spectacle type of show, which is interesting considering the visuals that we've gotten for this era, but it's very much like in front of the mic. It reminds me of like the what was it, the Paris sessions for Lover that Taylor did in 2019. Very much that vibe. And also track 5, yeah, with the bridge. Track 5 is always that track. It's always that track. That's all I have to say about it. But yeah, it's a very nice track. Actually, I think it almost might be my favorite so far. Potentially. I'll have to get back to it to confirm. And now we are moving into Ruin the Friendship. Wow, we're in indie territory.
Glistening grass from September rain, gray overpass full of neon names. You drive 85.
Wow.
Watching the game from your brother's Jeep, your smile miles wide, and it was not an invitation. Should have kissed you anyway. Should have kissed you anyway, and it was not convenient. No, but your girlfriend was away. Should have kissed you anyway.
What?
Wood floors underneath my feet. Disco ball makes everything look cheap. Have fun. It's prom. Wilted corsage dangles from my wrist. Over his shoulder, I'll catch a glimpse and see
Okay.
Was
Okay.
not an invitation, but as the 50-cent song played, should've kissed you anyway. And it was not convenient. No, would've been the best mistake. Should've kissed you anyway. Hey. Don't make it awkward in second period. Might piss your ex off. Lately we've been good. Staying friends is safe.
But this is what a story in like high school or something.
Don't make it awkward in second period. Might piss your ex off. Lately we've been good. Staying friends is safe. Doesn't mean you should.
Although this
When I
could
left
definitely
school,
be
I
like
lost track of you. Abigail called me with the
an allegory for
bad
something
news.
else.
Goodbye. And we'll never know why.
Abigail.
It was not an invitation, but I flew home anyway with so much left to say. It was not convenient, no, but I whispered at the grave. Should've kissed you anyway. Oh, and it was not
Oh
an
shit.
invitation. Should've kissed you anyway.
Ooh, that changes the entire thing. Whoa.
Was not my advice is always ruin the friendship. Better than regret it for all time. Should've kissed
Oh.
and my advice is always answer the question. Better than to ask it all your life. Should've kissed you.
Ouch. Oh, what the fuck?
You anyway.
I was having such a great time and that one just hurt. Whoa. Holy crap. Okay, hold on. Damn. Hold on, I'm a little speechless. Let me hold on. Let me collect my thoughts for a sec. I don't know if it's a real story or maybe a story that you heard from somebody else going through it, but the ouch. It is a great testament to try things, to not be scared of attempting and risking it, because I mean this applies to so many different things in life, but like you don't want to be stuck in asking yourself 5 years, 10 years, 15 years down the line, and at the end of your life, like I should have done it, like with everything. So it just, this is in a love context, but the message that you take away from the song is really, really important. And you know, at first it's like it, and that's exactly how it is. At first it feels like funny and flirty and kind of like jokingly, and you're like, whatever, I'm gonna do it, no, I'm not gonna do it. And then something in life happens and it just changes your entire perspective on it. As you mature, as you live experiences, it affects you in that way of just like, wow, now that I'm so far in, I regret something, or I should have done something, or I regret not doing something, and it's a whole life lesson in and of itself. Whew. Okay, wow, that one really was a punch in the gut. I will cry. This song is a fucking bait and switch. Good thing I didn't even look at the chat. I was so consumed by the lyrics and trying to understand what it meant that it just caught me so off guard. So remember Forever Winter? This is about him, allegedly. Oh. But indeed. But risking a friendship, I don't know. If you're not your girl's girl, I don't know if we can be friends. Sometimes regret is good. Listen, you gotta also use a little percentage of your brain sometimes, but you know, the whole idea of like things could have gone a lot differently, like kind of the butterfly effect type of way. Yeah. Psst. Maybe you didn't know, But I don't get paid for this. Yeah, mostly because of copyright issues. Yay, YouTube. But you know what you can do to support me? Become a member on my YouTube channel. And when you do that, as a bonus, you get access to all my unedited music video reactions, movie reactions, and TV show reactions. That is, if I'm not too embarrassed to share them after filming them. Anyway, you'll see. You know, this would be a lot more fun if you subscribed and stuck around for more videos. After all, I am stuck in here. I'm just kidding, I'm not. Or am I? I do my best to make sure the most accurate timestamps are available in my video descriptions, so that, you know, you can skip the boring parts and head right for the music instead of me talking. Okay, which now, we are officially halfway through the album, with 6 other tracks to go through. Actually romantic. I've heard whispers in the streets that this might be about Charlie XCX, allegedly. We'll see if the lyrics pan out.
I heard you call me boring Barbie when the coke's got you brave. High-fived my ex and then you said you're glad he ghosted me. Wrote me a song saying it makes you sick to see my face. Some people might be offended, but it's actually sweet. All the time you've spent on me, it's honestly wild. All the effort you've put in, it's actually romantic. I really gotta hand it to you. Ooh, no man has ever loved me like you do. Hadn't thought of you in a long time, but you keep sending me funny valentines. And I know you think it comes off vicious, but it's precious, adorable, like a toy chihuahua barking at me from a tiny purse. That's how much it hurts. How many times has your boyfriend said, why are we always talking about? It's actually sweet. All the time you've spent on me, it's honestly wild. All the effort you've put in, it's actually romantic. I really gotta hand it to you. Ooh, no man has ever loved me like you do. You think I'm tacky, baby? Stop talking dirty to me. It sounded nasty, but it feels like you're flirting with me. I mind my business, God's my witness that I don't provoke it, but it's kinda making me. 'Cause it's
No way!
sweet.
No way! And I kind of like the rock leading sound that we're getting. And I mean, Charlie does have a song called So Romantic. Wait, was the last line so romantic? Yeah, it's so romantic. Last line. Okay, it'll be hard to... Hold on, what's happening? It'll be hard not to say that it's not about her. The alleged accusations might be accurate. But I mean, other than the subject of the song, sonically, I found it really, really interesting because I don't feel like we've had a lot of like rock leaning Taylor in the past, and it was nice to hear her on this type of track. And the writing is, you know, Taylor has a great sense of twisting things around in her favor, especially when it comes to lyrics. And we've seen it, whether it is Look What You Made Me Do, whether it is Karma, and I'm trying to think, The Smallest Man Who Ever Lived. There's something. Oh, on Lover, it's the one about pride. I forgot. Where she says, "Aren't you glad?" I forgot. Anyway, she knows how to twist and take those lyrics and really get it into something that is punchy and um no, but that's the thing. All the examples that I gave to you were before Sabrina, like, or at least many of them. Like, you think, what is the track? I'm drawing a blank right now. Give me a sec. From Lover, 2019. It is. Sorry, I'm just drawing a blank. Oh, You Need to Calm Down. That's what it is. Yeah, You Need to Calm Down. So it's like her ability to twist that storyline and use words that play on the situation is great. Oh, you mean the sexual innuendo? Yeah. Yeah, but between you and I, Taylor's a Sagittarius. Okay, she's a fire sign, and fire signs. I mean, I have a feeling that she was like that in private, and she just didn't put it in the music. That's my vibe. That's my feeling. But oh yeah, kind of. We are never ever getting back together. Mature older sister. Well, this is less romantic per se. It's like using romantic as a theme, but I see what you mean. Okay, let's continue. Wish list.
They want that yacht life under chopper blades. They want those bright lights and Balenci shades and a fat ass with a baby face. They want it all. They want that complex female character. They want that critical smash Palme d'Or and an Oscar on their bathroom floor. They want it all. And they should have what they want. They deserve what they want. Hope they get what they want. I just want you.
Ooh, okay.
Have a couple kids, got the whole block looking like you. We tell the world to leave us the fuck alone, and they do. Wow, got me dreaming about a driveway with a basketball hoop. Bus up, settle down, got a wish list. I just want you. They want that freedom.
Ah, that's sweet.
They want those 3 dogs that they call their kids, and that good surf, no hypocrites. They want it all. They want a contract with reality.
Oh, okay,
They want
interesting.
that spring break that was fucking lit, and then that video taken off the internet. They want it all, and they should have what they want. They deserve what they want. I hope they get what they want. I just want you. Have a couple kids, got the whole block looking like you. We tell the world to leave us the fuck alone, and they do. Wow, got me dreaming about a driveway with a basketball hoop. Bus up, settle
You know, so far the project is really making me think like Lover 2.0, like an older version of Lover, more than anything.
Please, God, bring me a best friend who I think is hot. I thought I had it right once, twice, but I did not. You caught me off my guard. I hope I get what I want, 'cause I know what I want. I just want you. Have a couple kids, got the whole block looking like
Okay. All right. Yeah, it did remind me production wise of A Thousand Cuts from Lover. There's an element in the background that is almost like a shimmery type of like, I don't know what it is, but it made me think of Death by a Thousand Cuts. I think I didn't say the full title the time before, but um, I mean, I see it like once again I see the vision when you read the lyrics, you see what it is about, which is nice to just imagine. Like the references are really on point, and like the writing is so like clear, which is something I appreciate. That being said, I think from a production standpoint, I feel like maybe I'm wrong about this. Time will tell, I guess. But we have an album where Taylor probably wrote a lot of it or had ideas, and it just, okay, hold on. Let me preface this, preface this? Yeah, preface this by saying that when I heard that Taylor was working with Max again and Shellback, I was expecting bigger songs production-wise. A la Reputation, especially, but also when you think about Red and the tracks that they worked on together. So the album so far is very soft, in my opinion, as opposed to what I expected, and obviously that's a personal bias. So that being said, it almost makes me think that she might have shown up with the songs maybe already written, or she worked on a couple things, and Max and Shellback's role was just to support what she did, not so much of like take over and kind of lead the production of the song, but really just be there to listen to what she wanted and kind of build upon that to support the content that she was bringing into the studio. Maybe I could be wrong, but that's the vibe that I feel. Like it feels very like I wrote the song, I came into the studio with it, now layer the production on it, it's also not the mid 2010s anymore. Those big production albums are amazing, but they're very of their time. Well, it depends, because big production, depending on the sonics of it, it's more tied with the drama of the song rather than a certain time. Like maybe some sounds, like sort of some synths are very 2010, but some, like, you can still have the contrast between the big moments and the low moments in an album, and it just will sonically be louder, maybe busier, and it's it's a very soft album. And once again, there's nothing wrong with it. It does very much align with like the singer-songwriter vibe, with the indie vibe, indie pop, indie rock, but it's just not what I thought that Taylor would be going towards, especially on top of all the aesthetics that we saw. That being said, there's a couple of tracks left and we could be surprised. All right, Wood. This, okay, I need to stop biting my words. This is bad. Not the song, just the fact that I speak too soon like that. See, this is already louder as opposed to the rest. Ooh. I like it. Oh. Okay.
Redwood tree, it ain't hard to see his love was the key.
Oh,
Don't
whoa!
catch the bouquet. To know a hard rock is on the way.
And she was very right about that.
Superstitious. The curse on me was broken by your magic wand. Seems to me that you and me, we make our own luck. New heights.
By your magic wand, huh?
I gotta knock on wood. On that graduation on a falling star. Never did me any good. I ain't got to knock on wood. It's you and me forever dancing in the dark. Oh, over me, it's understood. I ain't got to knock on wood.
Wait.
Me, it sounds cocky. Hypnotize me and open my eyes. Redwood tree.
Wait.
To see his love was the key.
There are too many references to what I think this refers to for me not to think of something.
Open my eyes. Redwood tree, it ain't hard to see his love was the key that opened my thighs.
Taylor, you might as well have said, just shut up and fuck me. Like, oh, whoa. Sorry about the Streamlabs message. There are way too many references for this not to be what I think. Yeah, I mean, obviously it has. You know what? She's a grown woman. Let her have her fun. Can't fucking relate, but good for her. I mean, please forgive me if it sounds cocky. He hypnotized me. I can't believe I just did that out loud. Okay. Redwood tree. It ain't hard to see that his love, sure, was the key that opened my thighs. But you know what? I must say, this might be, so far, my favorite track. Just because sonically, I had literally just complained before that I wanted something a bit louder. And this is exactly what I meant. I didn't mean the, like, it doesn't have to be the loudest type of track ever, but like just a little more movement, a little more groove, not ego. What? I'm sorry, I'm starting to mess things together, but a bit more, just energy. Big music energy. We'll put it that way. Travis loves the song. I bet he does. The dick on father figure shocked me more. This is me just giggling. It does provide kind of that giggle. Once again, she is a Sagittarius. And this is very much Sagittarius coded. She's hard rock. I love this track. That fave. And after you didn't measure up in any measure of a man on TTPD, this is high praise. Ooh, you know what? I had never interpreted it that way. Interesting. Okay, well, we had a little good moment there. Nice. Let's move on to the next track. Cancelled.
You thought that it
Oh.
would be okay at first. The situation could be saved, of course, but they'd already picked out your grave and hers. Beware the wrath of masked crusaders. Did your girl boss too close to the sun? Did they catch you having far too much fun? Come with me, when they see us they'll run. Something wicked this way comes. Good thing I like my friends cancel.
I take back what I said. I literally made the comment at the wrong time.
Like my whiskey sour and poison thorny flowers. Welcome to my underworld where it gets quite dark. At least you know exactly who your friends matching scars.
Ooh.
It's easy to love you when you're popular. The optics click, everyone prospers. But one single drop, you're off the rock.
I love this rock vibe that we're getting from it.
Let's fucking off her. You can make a joke only a man could. Where you're just too smug for your own good. Or bring a tiny violin to a knife fight. Baby, that all ends tonight. Good thing I like my friends cancel. I like 'em cooked in Gucci and in Scandal. Like
Whoa.
and poison thorny flowers. Welcome to my underworld. It'll break your
Oh, I.
know exactly who your friends
Yes. Yes.
We're the ones with matching scars. They stood by me before my exoneration. They believed I was innocent, so I'm not here for judgment. No. But if you can't be good, then just be better at it. Everyone's got bodies in the attic.
Very
Took
true.
Somebody's man. Take you by the hand, and soon you'll learn the art of never getting caught.
I can see this as like such a strong song for a show or a movie. But a shattered glass is whoa.
Ones with matching scars.
But a shattered glass is a lot more sharp. Damn. Okay. Hold on, let me catch up. I like the guitar. This is almost like Lord of Rel in the chorus vibe. And now forever, when somebody Googles Taylor Swift canceled, this song will come up. You know, that's a brilliant move. Whoa, I just realized, yeah, search engine optimization. When people look for the news of her getting canceled. That's wise. Wow. You know what? Sonically, definitely in the top tier of the album. I really like that sound for her. Now I'm getting a bit more of like Fame but Make It Darker type that we got from the album cover. I mean, if anything, all of the tracks are from a thematic perspective, like on point. Like it's very much about, you know, stardom, fame, popularity, success, and the consequences of all of these things. But sound wise, now I feel like we're a bit more aligned with what I would have expected from a theme like that. And it sounds good. She sounds good. I like the lyrics. Once again, very visual. Yeah, it's probably going to be amongst the top of the ranking, if not at the top. With that, we have 2 more tracks, Honey and The Life of a Showgirl, featuring Sabrina Carpenter. Let's go with Honey.
You can call me honey if you want, because I'm the one you want.
Aww.
When anyone called me sweetheart, it was passive aggressive. At the bar and the bitch was telling me to back off, cause a man had looked at me wrong. If anyone called me honey, it was standing in the bathroom. White teeth, they were saying that skirt don't fit me, and I cried the whole way home. But
Forever night spent.
Sweetheart, it was passive aggressive at the bar, and the bitch was telling me to back off, cause a man had looked at me wrong. If anyone called me honey, it was standing in the bathroom. White teeth, they were saying that skirt don't fit me, and I cried the whole way home. But you touch my face, redefine all of those blues when you say you can call me
Interesting
honey if you
production,
want,
though.
because I'm the one you want. I'm the one you want. You give it different meaning, cause you mean it when you talk. Sweetie, it's yours, kicking in doors, stick it to the floor, give me more by the paint in the color of your eyes, and graffiti my whole damn life, honey.
I feel like we're back to the lover-esque sweetness and lightness that I referred to earlier as well, sonically.
And when anyone called me lovely, they were finding ways not to praise me, but you say it like you're in awe of me, and you stay until the morning, honey. When anyone called me sweetheart, it was passive aggressive at the bar, and the bitch was telling me to back off, cause a man had looked at me wrong. He looked at me wrong. If anyone called me honey, it was standing in the bathroom. White teeth, they were saying that skirt don't fit me, and I cried the whole way home. But you can call me honey if you want.
Aw, that's sweet. Yeah, I call it what you want. Ah, that is a nice wink at the same play on words or choice of words. Yeah, no, it's a very like, Taylor has lived a lot, obviously. Lots of highs, lots of lows, and I think comes with the territory, but she really seems to be in such a great place right now. And this album is very much about the before and after. Or you know what? I feel like I said something about this in one of the streams. This rings a bell. That I was talking about the before and after of Fame. And I think it was like a prediction that I talked about of like, like I want to see the before and the after of the life of the showgirl, of the Fame affecting Taylor. And we're kind of getting that of like, hey, this is how it was before, but now this is how it is now, and it feels much better. It's the London Boy Basket, the stay of it all. You are coming with those references. You have them memorized. Also, you got to listen to the album before I did, so you came prepared and prepped. But yeah, very much like I was, living all these before, and now, you know what? Things are falling back into place, and I'm happy about it. Which I think was something that I might have mentioned in terms of what I would like to see. But if that is correct, great. If not, just forget the last 2 minutes. No, it's a cute song. It's obviously like, and that's the thing. Listen, trauma, sadness, depression, anger, call it what you want. The negative feelings often tend to lead to better, in quotation marks, music making, because it is so intense, it's so dramatic, and it just translates probably more easily into music. But she's definitely in a different state of mind, in a different place. And I think that the reason why, historically, the reason why Lover didn't connect as much, maybe especially immediately when it was released, was because she was in a good place with Joe at the time, and she was talking about different forms of love. And not that there wasn't any sad songs, because there was one about her mother and her cancer diagnosis, but she was singing from a happier place for most of the music, and people got used to her very dramatic, very intense, sad songs, heartbreak songs, and it's a little harder to relate to happier songs, I would say, generally speaking, as much as it is harder to write them. So if anything, what she put out in this album is still great work because of how difficult it can be to produce songs that are a little more positive, especially when you come from a background of writing. I mean, hell, her last album, TTPD, was so dramatic and so dark that it kind of feels, I'm happy for her that she's come out with an album that's so much more positive and uplifting. So anyway, I'll just finish off the next track and then we'll talk about more of the album altogether. But it's very Hallmark romance and sentimentality and that cute. If I didn't miss up the word. All right, The Life of a Showgirl featuring Sabrina Carpenter.
Her name was Kitty, made her money being pretty and witty. They gave her the keys to this city, then they said she didn't do it legitly. I bought a ticket, she's dancing in her garters and fishnets. 50 in the cast, 0 missteps. Looking back, I guess it was kismet. I waited by the stage door, packed in with the autograph hounds, barking her name, then glowing like the end of a cigarette. Wow, she came out. I said, "You live in my dream." Then she said to me, "Hey, thank you for the lovely bouquet. You're sweeter than a peach, but you don't know the life of a showgirl, babe.
Ooh.
And you're never ever gonna wait. The more you play, the more that you pay. You're softer than a kitten, so you don't know the life of a showgirl, babe.
Okay, I see. I see the vision.
Menace, the baby of the family in Lennox. Her father whored around like all men did. Her mother took pills and played tennis.
Ooh.
So she waited by the stage door, asked the club promoter arrive. She said, "I'd sell my soul to have a taste of a magnificent life. It's all mine." But that's not what showgirls get. They leave us for dead. Hey, thank you for the lovely bouquet. You're sweeter than a peach, but
We have some key changes, but they're kind of almost subtle.
and you're never ever gonna wait. The more you play, the more that you pay. You're softer than a kitten, so you don't know the life of a showgirl, babe. And you're never gonna wanna. I took her pearls of wisdom, hung them from my neck. I paid my dues with every bruise. I knew what to expect.
Oh, we're getting a Broadway feel at this
Inside
point.
my veins, they ripped me off like false lashes and then threw me away. And all the headshots on the walls of the dance hall are of the bitches who wish I'd hurry up and die. But I'm immortal now, baby dolls. I couldn't if I tried. So I say, thank you for the lovely bouquet.
Yeah, we almost had like a Broadway interlude in the song for the bridge.
And lace sequins are forever, and now I know the life of a showgirl, babe. Wouldn't have it any other way. Wouldn't have it any other way.
Very much drawing that parallel between fame and being an artist with like, the story or the allegory of being like a showgirl burlesque world.
Thank you for an unforgettable night. We will see you next time. Give it up for the band, the dancers, and of course Sabrina. I love you, Taylor. That's our
Ah. Well, and here we are at the end of the album. It's a very this song, when you put it in the context of like all the albums that she's released, the Eras tour, it feels like a natural conclusion to this massive undertaking of the last, I want to say like the last 10 years, really, since she released Reputation, so maybe even more than 10 years. um it's kind of a way to wrap up, saying, you know kind of cutting the apple in halfway between how, in a way, unrelatable Taylor can seem because of how much success that she's had and the level at which she has risen based on the success and the fame and the sales and the money and whatever case may be. But also the, I'm just a girl, I'm just a person in this massive world, and sometimes I still have, or I always actually, not just sometimes, have feelings that other people also do, right? The That's a shared thing between humans. It's the feelings. Those are, no matter where you come from, they can be as intense or as similar as each other. And like having her come to this end of, I feel like the life of Showgirl is really the wrapping up of the story arc that we've gotten over the last decade for her with all her projects. And she's gonna definitely be, I feel, moving on to a different chapter of her life, really, at this point. And it reflects in music. It really feels like a soft conclusion, oversight on every, like, there's so many dots that you can connect between songs and previous projects, whether it is like Cancelled, which is reminiscent of Reputation in a way, or like the, hold on, everything is fresh in my brain, so I am not sure, like I have to listen to it again. But like I've talked about during the video, like, or the stream, of several songs reminding me of other songs from the past. And it just feels like it's a beautiful, if I were to describe the album, it feels like the bow that you're tying up on the gift after the journey that it took you through to get the gift. So with that being said, is the album the gift in and of itself of the greatest value? Not necessarily. I feel like we've had albums throughout her career that really were staples of music and really, A, changed the industry, like 1989, or B, really provided a concrete example of her songwriting at the highest peak, which would be like Folklore, or really her mastermind manipulation of the market based on her person, like her persona that was built out of her control, sometimes, like with Reputation. Like I feel like all the albums really attest to something about Taylor, and this is like kind of the bow that wraps it all up and goes like, hey, like it's kind of a, that last lap saying, I made it, everything is good, life is good, and you know what, even with all the ups and downs of my career, I made it. Like I'm happy, I'm alive, and things are now good. So I mean, for regarding the album itself, sonically, I think the first half I found a little, a little soft, which was not what I expected from the album. I'm sure that going back to it, I'm gonna re-listen to it again. Is It's gonna be fun to just like dive deeper, and I have a feeling that some of the songs are gonna grow on me. The second half at first listen was definitely the part that I enjoyed the most, I think, simply because it was a little more, it was bigger in sounds. It pulled from a little more diversity when it came to, to the inspirations sonically. Um, and it definitely felt like the older sister for Lover, in a way, one, a more experienced Lover. Lover is kind of that young, dumb, blind like, ah, I love love type of feeling. And then The Life of a Showgirl feels very much like, well, love is fun when you get it right. Like I love love, but sometimes it's not gonna work your way, and it speaks from experience. And I think that's a beautiful contrast between both projects, but definitely feels like they're connected in some spiritual, cosmic way. Um, and obviously the songwriting is good. I mean, I like the references, I like the quirks of it. Um, so yeah, no, it was a solid project as usual for Taylor. Um, the best project ever. I would understand the argumentation that it would not be. Um, I definitely am leaning or have bias towards other sounds that I prefer from Taylor, but to say that this is a disappointing album, I wouldn't agree with that for sure. Um, I think most of the criticism is coming in because the pop culture e vibe and lyrics, and that's a shame because the pen is still there. I agree, the pen is most definitely still there, and that's the thing that people, true Taylor Swift fans, appreciate from her the most. From my understanding and from even my own personal take. It's a solid album with good lyrics, but it's normal for people to be critical this late into an artist's career. For sure, but yeah, it all comes, I think, from like personal bias of like people liking a specific project that spoke to them and then always comparing it to that project. So, if anything, Taylor has been a true chameleon throughout her eras, throughout her projects. She's adapted like really, really well over the years. Um, Always providing something interesting, whether it's visual, whether it's sonic, whether it's writing. Um, and she is a definition of an artist. Um, and artists don't always make things that you like. Artists will make things that they like. Artists will make things that speak to them. Um, like it's not all types of paintings and decors that you like, and that's okay. And sometimes your mind might change, your tastes might change. Sometimes you have the same taste for the entire life, and that's okay. Um, Everybody has their own style. Everybody has their own avenue, and Taylor just has shown that she's able to play in many different avenues, many different leagues if she wants to, and she brings something of quality to all of them, in their own right, in their own way. So, but all in all, I really had a good time. Um, I personally don't feel like it's necessarily the strongest album that we've gotten from Taylor, but it was definitely a fun moment to listen to it, and I had a great time, and I liked the writing of it, and yeah, it's a nice little project. I gotta say, definitely did not go in the direction that I thought it would go, but that's obviously my fault for having a bias. Um, but I appreciated it nonetheless. And it was nice for that Sabrina kind of callback, especially because it does speak to like the next generation of artists and kind of, you know, what she piloted. For example, the whole conversation about masters, right? Like there's a legacy that Taylor is leaving forever in the music industry, and yeah, kind of having Sabrina is almost like hinting at that legacy that she's leaving for the next generation of artists. So I really appreciate it. And that's pretty much it for The Life of a Showgirl by Taylor Swift. Huh, you're still here. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little surprised. I guess you're really, really patient. Or weird. I don't know which one I prefer. Anyway, enjoy. So, how did you find the video? I certainly hope I didn't disappoint you. Otherwise, you'd be the 12th person I disappoint today. And I still haven't counted in myself. Be careful what you say in the comments. I'm known to be a little feisty over there. After all, I am an Aries. You've been warned. If you leave a mean comment on one of my videos, don't worry. I definitely won't be crying myself to sleep at 3 AM in the bed that you see behind me. I'm not even kidding. I got bullied way too much as a kid to even feel anything nowadays. Do you think I stole this concept from Sabrina Carpenter's Short and Sweet tour? Of course I didn't. I only sampled it, pitched it down, and filtered it to make it more my style. You know what? Careful, Ava Max. I am coming for your Sampling Queen title. Was that too much?